How to find inner peace with these 7 Stoic exercises, Marco Aurelio. Stoicism is a school of philosophy that originated in ancient Greece and Rome, and was practiced by some of the most influential figures in history, such as Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher. Stoicism teaches us that the only thing we can control is our own mind, and that we should focus on living virtuously, in harmony with nature, and according to reason. By doing so, we can achieve eudaimonia, a state of well-being and happiness that is independent of external circumstances. But how can we apply Stoicism to our modern lives, especially in times of stress, anxiety, and uncertainty? How can we find inner peace in a chaotic world? In this video, we will explore 7 Stoic exercises that can help us cultivate a calm and resilient mind, and live a more fulfilling and meaningful life. These exercises are inspired by the writings of Marcus Aurelius, who wrote his personal reflections and meditations in a book that is now considered a classic of Stoic literature. 1. Reflect on your mortality. The first exercise is to reflect on your mortality, and to remember that life is short and fragile. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This is not meant to be a morbid or depressing thought, but rather a reminder to appreciate the present moment, and to focus on what truly matters. By reflecting on our mortality, we can overcome our fear of death, and live more courageously and authentically. We can also cultivate gratitude for the gift of life, and for the people and things that enrich it. 2. Practice negative visualization. The second exercise is to practice negative visualization, which is a technique of imagining the worst-case scenarios that could happen to us, or to the things and people we value. For example, we could imagine losing our health, our wealth, our reputation, our loved ones, or even our own life. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nothing happens to anyone that he can't endure." The purpose of this exercise is not to make us pessimistic or fearful, but rather to prepare us for the inevitable challenges and hardships that life will bring. By practicing negative visualization, we can reduce our attachment to external things, and increase our appreciation for what we have. We can also develop a more realistic and rational perspective, and be ready to face any situation with calmness and confidence. 3. Use the dichotomy of control. The third exercise is to use the dichotomy of control, which is a principle that divides everything into 2 categories: things that are under our control, and things that are not. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Some things are in our control and others not." Things in our control are opinion, pursuit, desire, aversion, and, in a word, whatever are our own actions. Things not in our control are body, property, reputation, command, and, in one word, whatever are not our own actions. The idea is to focus only on the things that are under our control, which are our own thoughts, feelings, and actions, and to accept the things that are not, which are everything else. By using the dichotomy of control, we can avoid wasting our time and energy on things that we cannot change, and instead direct them to things that we can. We can also reduce our frustration, anger, and anxiety, and increase our peace, joy, and freedom. 4. Follow nature. The fourth exercise is to follow nature, which means to live in accordance with the natural order of the universe, and to act according to our true nature as rational and social beings. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Everything harmonizes with me, which is harmonious to thee, O universe. Nothing for me is too early or too late, which is in due time for thee." This exercise helps us to align ourselves with the cosmic logos, the rational principle that governs the universe, and to recognize our connection and interdependence with all living things. By following nature, we can avoid being swayed by our passions, impulses, and opinions, and instead act with wisdom, justice, and benevolence. We can also embrace our role and duty in the world, and contribute to the common good of humanity. 5. View things objectively. The fifth exercise is to view things objectively, which means to see things as they are, without adding our own judgments, interpretations, or emotions. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Don't let the force of an impression when it first hits you knock you off your feet. Just say to it, 'Hold on a moment. Let me see who you are and what you represent. Let me put you to the test.'" This exercise helps us to detach ourselves from our subjective impressions, and to examine them with reason and logic. By viewing things objectively, we can avoid being influenced by our biases, prejudices, and expectations, and instead see things clearly and accurately. We can also prevent ourselves from reacting impulsively or emotionally, and choose to respond rationally and appropriately.
6. Take the view from above. The sixth exercise is to take the view from above, which is a technique of zooming out from our narrow perspective, and looking at the bigger picture of the world and the universe. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Look down from above on the countless herds of men and their countless solemnities, and the infinitely varied voyagings in storms and calms, and the differences among those who are born, who live together, and die. And consider, too, the life lived by others in olden time, and the life of those who will live after you, and the life now lived among barbarous nations, and how many know not even your name, and how many will soon forget it, and how they who perhaps now are praising you will very soon blame you, and that neither a posthumous name is of any value, nor reputation, nor anything else." This exercise helps us to put our problems and worries into perspective, and to realize how insignificant and transient they are in the grand scheme of things. By taking the view from above, we can overcome our ego, pride, and vanity, and cultivate a sense of humility, awe, and wonder. We can also appreciate the beauty and harmony of the cosmos, and our place and role in it. 7. Live in the present. The seventh and final exercise is to live in the present, which means to focus on the here and now, and to be fully aware and attentive to what is happening in the present moment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not disturb yourself by picturing your life as a whole. Do not assemble in your mind the many and varied troubles which have come to you in the past and will come again in the future, but ask yourself with regard to every present difficulty, what is there in this that is unbearable and beyond endurance? You would be ashamed to confess it. And then remind yourself that it is not the future or what has passed that afflicts you, but always the present, and the power of this is much diminished if you take it in isolation and call your mind to task if it thinks that it cannot stand up to it when taken on its own." This exercise helps us to avoid dwelling on the past, which can cause regret, guilt, and sadness, or worrying about the future, which can cause fear, anxiety, and stress. By living in the present, we can enjoy and appreciate what we have, and make the most of every opportunity. We can also face every challenge with courage and resilience, and act with purpose and intention.
I hope you enjoyed this video, and learned something new and useful. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more videos on Stoicism and other topics. Thank you for watching, and remember, the best way to find inner peace is to be a Stoic.